The Russian forces fighting in Ukraine are facing a mutiny. The Wagner mercenaries who've been at the forefront of the fighting in Bakhmut have suffered some serious reverses. Yevgeny Prigozhin has blamed his losses on the battlefield on the lack of ammunition for his mercenaries. And Ukraine, which for months had been planning its counteroffensive, is on the move. The United Kingdom is sending long-range Storm Shadow missiles to Ukraine. Without the Western leaders making it obvious, the nature of the war in Ukraine is now slowly turning from being a defensive one to an offensive war. And what no one can at this moment predict is how will the Kremlin respond to the long-range weapons that are now being pumped into Ukraine. This is the scene of devastation at the industrial complex in Luhansk in Russia-controlled Ukraine after it was struck by Ukrainian missiles. The precise location of this missile strike is 100 kilometers behind the front lines. And this has now sparked speculation that Ukraine has already begun to use the British-sent long-range Storm Shadow missiles. On the 11th of May, when the British Defence Minister Ben Wallace made this announcement in the Parliament, it took everyone's breath.
In December, I informed the House that I was developing options to respond to Russia's continued aggression in a calibrated and determined manner. Today, I can confirm that the UK is donating Storm Shadow missiles to Ukraine. Storm Shadow is a long-range, conventional-only precision strike capability. It complements the long-range systems already gifted, including HIMARS and Harpoon missiles, as well as Ukraine's own Neptune cruise missile and longer-range missions elsewhere gifted. The donation of these weapon systems gives Ukraine the best chance to defend themselves against Russia's continued brutality.
Keep in mind, this is a clear departure from the earlier stated position that the Western nations will only supply defensive weapons to Ukraine. So what makes the Storm Shadow missiles a serious escalation in the war? Well, to begin with, the Storm Shadow missiles, co-developed by Matra and British Aerospace, is a turbojet-powered missile that cruises at a speed of 0.8 Mach. It has a range of almost 560 kilometers, and although relatively small, it packs a punch with a 450 kilogram warhead. The missile is shaped in such a manner that it is difficult for radar systems to detect it. The missile navigates semi-autonomously to its target and can strike with pinpoint accuracy. Russia is about to hit back hard at Britain, but what must also bother Russia are reports that Ukraine has managed to strike down its very first Kinzhal hypersonic missile using the American-sent Patriot missile defense system. The Kinzhal, which means a dagger in Russian, can fly at a speed of Mach 10. It is capable of carrying both conventional and nuclear warheads, and it has a range of 2,000 kilometers.
We have received information that it was the so-called Kinzhal that the Russians say no weapon can shoot down. But we can see here at the Military Forensic Institute, where the experts have determined the fragments are those of the same hypersonic missile that the Russians present as a miracle weapon, impossible to shoot down. This makes us happy because we feel safer, and we thank our partners for their support, because safety is the most important thing for all Ukrainians.
On the battlefield, technological superiority is the key. If Ukraine can regularly shoot down the Russian Kinzhal missiles, then this will blunt the Russian bite over Ukrainian skies. And although Kiev is still hesitant to declare that its spring offensive is already underway, the drone attacks over Kremlin and the massive explosion at Sevastopol are the clearest indicators that Ukraine's counteroffensive is already underway.